Yeah, I know. There's a lot to remember. That's why in the beginning we go slow and we take it. So we're going to do one more roll down. So let's take a breath in. Nod the chin to the chest. Exhale, roll down slowly with control, one vertebrae at a time. Take a breath in at the bottom. Exhale, pull your navel deeply in towards your spine and start to round up one vertebrae at a time. Good. Head is always the last thing up at the top. Good job, much better. You brought your head up last. Really important to leave that head to the very last to articulate through the spine. All right, so those are a few of the beginning things. We're going to come down onto the floor, do a little bit more beginning. So everybody, come down any way you like. I'm not going to make you come down gracefully. All right, so we're going to use our abdominals to come down to laying out fully. So we want to have the feet hip distance apart, knees are bent up to the ceiling, and you can either support yourself and walk down holding on underneath the knees, or if you want a little bit more difficulty, you're going to bring your arms up parallel and we're going to come down this way. So we're going to do a C spine. So we want to round our spines as we come down. So take a breath in, exhale, start to round, and come down. Using those abs all the way. Good. And then bring your arms down beside you. And I'm just going to have you bring your hands on top of your hips. So your thumbs are going to be together and the fingers are coming down towards the groin. So I want you to feel for the hips and the pelvis to be on the same plane. Bend your knees up to the ceiling, everybody. Make sure your feet are flat. Knees hip distance apart, feet hip distance apart. Okay, so feel for your neutral spine. So neutral spine, all that means is that the hips and the pelvis are on the same plane. So if I put a glass of water on top of you, it's not going to tipple over. Okay, and everybody's neutral is different, so you're going to have a slight arc in the small of your back and a slight arc at the neck. So the next principle we're going to practice is length in the back of the neck. So we do what's called a chin nod in Pilates to create length in the back of the neck. And anytime we're lifted off of the floor, we always want to initiate the chin nod before we come off the floor. So you're just in your neutral neck. And what we're going to do is on an in-breath, you're going to slide your chin towards your chest, creating a lot of double chins. The head stays flat on the floor. On the out-breath, you're going to slide back up to neutral. Okay? So on an in-breath, take your chin down towards your chest. Exhale, slide back to your neutral. Good. Inhale, bring chin to chest. Exhale, back to your neutral. Good, one more time. Inhale, chin comes in towards the chest, creating our double chins. Exhale, come back to your neutral. So anytime I say chin nod, that's the action that I want you to do. You guys look really good. So we're just going to do a pelvic tilt now. Okay, so the pelvic tilt, we want to lengthen away. Well, that's the anterior. So posterior, we want to come, rib cage is going to come closer into the hip, right? So with this action, we don't want to initiate it with the glutes. We want to initiate it with the transverse abs. So that's that deep layer of abdominal tissue, okay, the one that helps stabilize. Okay, so on an in-breath, we're going to exhale and gently press the small of the back to the floor. In, and then release back to your neutral. Okay? So pelvic tilt. Take a breath in at your neutral. And then as you exhale, you're going to press gently the small of the back to the floor. And the hips and the rib cage come closer together. Inhale, release back to your neutral. Exhale, go back into your pelvic tilt. inhale back to neutral. Has everybody got it? And you don't want the bum to really lift away from the floor here. Okay, tailbone stays somewhat heavy. Okay, so now we're going to rock forward on the pelvis and do an anterior tilt. So the rib cage and the hips are going to lengthen away from each other in that movement. Okay, so we're in neutral spine. You're inhaling to prepare. As you exhale, you rock forward on the pelvis. Inhale back to neutral. So you're going to rock forward. You're pushing the hips away. Inhale back to neutral. Go ahead. Exhale. You're going to rock forward. Inhale back. You don't get that one? The hips are going to come this way. Okay, so you're pushing them away from you. So you're going to think about arcing slightly away from the floor. But you don't lift your bum. No. I'll show you. We're right here. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're just going to arc, create more of an arc in through the low back, and the hips move away from you. That's it. And then inhale back. The anterior tilt's a little bit harder to get a hold of. Does everybody understand that one? Yeah? Yeah. Everybody knows rocking forward? So you create more space between the ribs and the hips. So you rock forward. And that's, let's see. Am I doing this? You want to create more of an arc through the low back, and then you're going to push your hips away. Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's it. Oh. That very small movement helps pelvic mobility, helps pelvic strength. Okay, good exercises to do. So the pelvic floor in Pilates is very important. All right, so now from pelvic tilts, we're just going to go into a few curl-ups. Okay? So when you're starting, we like to layer the hands and place them behind the head. So layer your hands and place them behind your head, and let the weight of your head be really heavy to your hands so that your neck can relax through the exercise. Okay. So we're going to do a chin nod to prepare. So on the in-breath, slide your chin towards your chest. Exhale and lift head, neck, and shoulders off of the floor. Inhale, hold up here, and then exhale and come down. All right, so inhale at the bottom, exhale, lift. Doing your chin nod as you inhale, right? Inhale, hold at the top, and then exhale and roll down. Keep going on in that fashion. What I want you to think about when you're coming up is engaging your abdominals, your deep layer of abs. So you're pulling your navel to your spine as you're exhaling and as you're lifting. And you want to try and keep that contraction. Okay?
I always feel like I'm pulling on my neck when I that's fine.
Yeah, try not to pull on your neck. Just let the weight of the head go into the hands. Keep your elbows to the periphery of your vision. I mean, if you don't want to hold on to it, you don't have to. It's just if your neck might get some tension. Make sure those elbows stay out wide so that they don't come in close to help you. And try not to use momentum to come up. Right? We're using our abdominals to come up. And the more the abdominals strengthen, the higher you'll be able to stay lifted in your curl. Thoracic spine doesn't like to curl very much, so it doesn't help us lift. That's why we like to maintain the length in the back of the neck. It helps the thoracic to curl a little bit more. Good, so we're going to add on to this movement. So everybody at the bottom, we're going to inhale as we do our chin nod. Exhale and roll up. Now we're holding here. We're going to inhale, lower halfway. Exhale and lift. Inhale, lower halfway down. Exhale to lift. Do not use momentum. Okay, so we're not bouncing. It's a fluid motion. You're concentrating on your powerhouse, right? This is what is helping you stay lifted and move. You don't want to pull with the arms or use force. Right? Nice and fluid and controlled. Try not to let the chin go down to the chest. Okay, so you want to maintain a space of about a Christmas orange between the chin and the chest. Okay, and that helps the length of the neck. Okay, we're going to do one more there. Now everybody hold up in your curl. We're going to work the breath. So staying lifted, 5 Pilates breaths. In through the nose, out through pursed lips. Contract. Pull your navel to your spine as you're breathing, especially on the out breath. Don't let the abdominals pooch outwards. We're swooping them inwards towards the spine. Do your 5 breaths. Stay lifted. Don't let yourself drop down to the floor. Once you've done your 5 breaths, inhale at the top and then exhale and relax down. Okay, so could anybody feel that kind of pulling across from hip to hip of the transverse ab being engaged? Yes? No? How many of you could feel it? Kind of feels like a, well, I say saran wrap. I'm not sure how it feels for others. What's it feel like for you?
Just like
Tight, yeah. It's a tight, pulling. Yeah. Good. So if you can feel that, that's great. That means you're doing it correctly and it's working. So we're going to get to do just one more exercise. We're going to go here. Last one is the bridge. So your knees are bent up to the ceiling as you are. Feet hip distance apart. Knees are parallel and they were looking up to the ceiling. Your arms are beside you and the palms are down for support. Make sure you don't roll your shoulders up, so you want to press the shoulders down and then just keep them relaxed. So let's take a breath in. You guys are all just going to follow me. As you exhale, just lift your tailbone and start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. So you're peeling yourself off the mat, kind of like a string of pearls. And you're resting onto your shoulders at the top of the movement. Press some weight into your arms for support, so the hands are flat on the floor. Now press some weight into your feet, so that you take it kind of into the hips and the quads. And you press the weight, especially into the toes. Go into the big toe mound and the back of the heel with your weight. Press the arms on the floor for support, palms down. And you want to make sure that your knees are hip distance apart. So walk your feet together. Yeah. Our hips are not that wide apart. Hips are here, right? So hip distance apart is not here. Walk your feet closer together. Good. And then take your knees and have them slightly looking in towards one another. And off the floor. I'm trying to watch. Oh, okay, sorry. Come up into your bridge, good. Now you want to just press the weight into the toes. You're holding here and breathing. We're not hyperextended at the tops, okay? So you want to